Welcome to Codecrafters, and in this video we are going to see a small problem which is based on tuples in Python. So in last video we saw a problem based on list, and in this video it's about tuples. This is actually a pretty small problem. It can be solved very easily. So let's go to the problem statement. So given an integer n and n spaced integers as input, create a tuple t of those n integers, then compute and print the result of hash of t. Now hash is one of the functions in the bulletins module, so it need not to be imported. So in the input format, the first line will contain an integer n, which will denote the number of elements which is required in the tuple, and the second line will contain the n spaced integers, which are the elements of tuple. Okay, the first line contains the integer n, which is the count of number of elements, and the second line contains the elements. And that your task is to print the hash value. It's like an integer generated value, hash value of the tuple. Okay, so in Hackerrank they've already given us a default code. First it's the same thing, name is equal to main, and inside that we are actually inputting an integer, that is the limit or the number of count of elements in the tuple. So let's say this as count of elements in the tuple. And then we are actually now inputting the elements as integer list is equal to map of int of input dot split. So what's happening here? Integer list is a variable name, and now we are actually inputting it by as in the question they said they want n spaced integers, right? So if you want an input to be 2, 4, 5, 6, so these are different integers and it's inputted by inputting a space and all in one line. So that's what n spaced integers is. Okay, so integer list is the variable name, and we are just mapping of all these integers into this variable. Okay, so now we have the number of elements in the tuple which is required, and also the elements in the tuple, but it's not a tuple yet. So what we are doing is we are going to change this integer list variable into a tuple. So let's consider that as tup is equal to tuple of integer list. This is in the list format. In Python, if you want to convert any data type into a different data type, you can just call the data type in front of it, and inside the bracket you can just call the variable name. So integer list is in the form of list, and now we are converting the list into a tuple, and we are just calling the tuple data type. Okay, even if you want to convert a character into a integer, whatever it may be, you can just call the data type and the variable name inside the bracket. So let's say if my var is equal to 1, and this is actually now an integer, and now I have to convert this var to a string, you can just say str is equal to, so not str, string is equal to str of var. So this will convert the integer number 1 into, and the output will become, inside the single quotes 1 will be there. Now this 1 is a string. That's what I said. If you want to convert a data type into a different data type, or a variable which is already of an integer data type into a string data type, you can just call the particular data type and convert it. Okay, this is an example. It's not required for the problem. So in this problem, we have already have a list which has all the elements which is required in the tuple, and now we are converting the list into a tuple. And what do we need? As hash is also a function, one of the functions in the bulletins module, you don't need to import it specifically or like separately import hash, and everything is not required here. You just have to call the function. That's all is required. So you can just give, or like you can give like val is equal to, I guess this is also fine, print hash of tuple. Sorry. So this will print the hash value of the tuple. If you want a hash value of every element in the tuple, you have to go like this: for element in tuple, and then val is equal to hash of ele and print val. So that's how you actually print the hash value of each element in the tuple. Now that in the question we just need the hash value of the entire tuple, not just every element in the tuple. So this is not required. We can just print the hash value directly. Print hash of tuple. Let's see whether it's working. Still processing. Yeah, so it's worked. And now we can just submit the code for testing it against all the other test cases. Yeah, so our code is working perfectly for other test cases also. If you have any doubts in this, you can just drop a comment in the comment sections. Thank you.